There are paths that lead to places, and there are paths that lead to the soul. This is one of those paths. Hinduism is not something you learn. It's something you remember. If these words already stir something inside you, if you're drawn to the sacred, to stillness, to truth that feels like home, then this channel is for you. Subscribe gently, not out of habit, but intention. Click like if your spirit feels heard, and share this journey with someone who walks a similar path. Now, breathe. You walk along a quiet path. The air is still. The trees seem to whisper a language older than memory. There is something about silence that speaks louder than sound. Something ancient, sacred, felt more than understood. This is where Hinduism begins, not in a temple, not in a book, but in the soul's longing to remember itself. You see, Hinduism isn't just a religion. It's a way of seeing the world, a lens made of spirit, symbol, and silence. It didn't begin with one prophet or one moment. There is no single founder to revere, because Hinduism is not a single thread. It's a vast tapestry, woven by countless hands across thousands of years. The name itself, Hindu, was not originally used by its own practitioners. It was a label given by outsiders, pointing to the people beyond the river Sindhu. But those who lived it simply called it Sanatana Dharma, the eternal way, the way that has no beginning, no end, a rhythm that flows with the cosmos, with fire, water, wind, earth, and space. It is not something you join. It is something you awaken within you. Hinduism lives in chants echoing through Himalayan temples, in incense rising from small home altars, in the Ganges, winding like a sacred pulse through the heart of India. And yet, it also lives in you, in your breath, your questions, your longing for truth. So today, you don't study Hinduism as a subject. You enter it, gently, reverently, as you would enter a temple, made of time itself. You sit quietly now, not just listening, feeling, as if something within you is being gently stirred, like ripples across a still lake. Hindu philosophy doesn't demand belief. It invites exploration. It begins with a question whispered by sages under starlit skies. Who am I? Not the name, not the face, but the essence behind the eyes. You are not your body, not even your thoughts. According to the ancient texts, you are Atman, the eternal soul, beyond birth and death. This soul is not separate from the universe. It is the universe. At the heart of Hindu philosophy is Brahman, the divine source of all that exists, not a god in the sky, but the infinite presence that lives within everything. When the soul realizes its oneness with Brahman, that is called moksha, liberation. But how do you reach that realization? Through Dharma, through karma, through living consciously. Dharma is your sacred duty, your role in the vast harmony of life. It is not imposed from outside. It arises from within. What is mine to do in this life? What truth is asking to be lived through me? Karma is not punishment. It is the law of cause and effect, a reminder that every action echoes into the future. What you think, what you speak, what you do, they all shape your path, not by judgment, but by reflection. The Bhagavad Gita says, "You have the right to your actions, but not to the fruits of your actions." Release the need for control. Do what is right and let go of the outcome. This is the soul of Hinduism. Not rules, but truths that resonate like a bell struck in the heart. You begin to See? You are not here by accident. There is meaning in your breath, in your being. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine a battlefield, two armies facing each other. But the true battle is not outside, it's within. This is the opening of the Bhagavad Gita, one of Hinduism's most profound sacred texts. It's not just a story. It's a mirror. Arjuna, the warrior, stands frozen, confused, afraid, unwilling to fight. Krishna, his charioteer and divine guide, whispers eternal wisdom into his heart. He tells him, "You are not this fear. You are not this body. You are the soul that cannot be wounded, cannot be burned, cannot die." These are not metaphors. They are messages. Each story in Hinduism carries a vibration, a deeper layer of truth meant not just to be heard, but the Upanishads speak in paradoxes. The self is smaller than the smallest, greater than the greatest. What seems like poetry is actually a map, leading inward. Then, there are the gods, but not gods in the way you might imagine. Shiva, with ashes on his skin and a serpent around his neck, teaches transformation, the beauty of destruction when it brings rebirth. Lakshmi, radiant and serene, is not just a goddess of wealth, but of balance, beauty, and gratitude. Each deity represents an energy, a path, a reminder, and behind them all is the One, the Infinite, the divine without form, taking countless forms to meet you where you are. These stories are not meant to be believed blindly. They are to be entered like sacred caves, each symbol glowing, with meaning that unfolds when you are ready to see. So you don't ask, "Did this happen?" Instead, you ask, "What is this teaching me about myself?" Now, open your eyes, not just to the world, but to the way you move through it. What does it mean to live as a spiritual being in a world that moves so fast and often forgets to breathe? Hinduism doesn't separate the sacred from the ordinary. In fact, it teaches that everything is sacred. The way you eat, the way you speak, the way you look at another soul. This is where practice begins, not in retreat from life, but in full presence within it. You begin each day not with rushing, but with namaste. The divine in me honors the divine in you. You light a candle, not because the light is needed, but because it reminds you of the light within. You repeat mantras, sacred sounds like Om, not as noise, but as vibration, as alignment with the pulse of the universe. You start to ask gentle questions throughout your day. Am I acting from ego or essence? Is my speech creating peace or confusion? Is my presence a blessing to this moment? This is yoga, not just postures on a mat, but the union of the self with the sacred. Yoga of devotion, yoga of wisdom, yoga of selfless service. Each path is valid. Each leads to the center. You no longer seek enlightenment as a distant mountain. You begin to feel it in your breath, in your stillness, in the space between thoughts. The teachings ask you to become aware, to pause, to choose love, even when fear is louder. And slowly, without effort, your life becomes the temple. Your body, the offering. Your heart, the altar. Your awareness, the flame. You've walked with me through silence, through scripture, through story, and through the soul. And maybe now, you feel something you can't quite name. Not a conclusion, but an opening. This is the heart of Hinduism. Not an answer, but a path. Not a destination, but a remembering. A remembering that you are not lost. You are not broken. You are not separate. You are part of a sacred rhythm that pulses through stars and rivers and hearts alike. And every breath you take, every choice made with intention, is a step toward your truest self. The Gita says, "Even the smallest effort on this path is never wasted." So do not worry about being perfect. Be present. Let your curiosity guide you. Let your doubts teach you. Let your longing lead you deeper. This is not the end of a video. This is a beginning, a doorway. And if this touched your spirit, if it stirred something still and sacred within you, then subscribe. Join us here, in this temple of reflection. Like the video, if your soul feels seen, share it with someone who walks their own silent path. We will walk together, not with answers, but with wonder. I am Atmara, and this is our temple of inner light. Until next time, be still, be kind, be home.